It's a fact of life that both you and I have failed, and will fail at something at some point. But despite that, today we learn how to use failure to change our life's course, and perhaps obtain a newfound appreciation for the dads in our lives. Hey quoters, and welcome to this week's Motivate Monday episode of Quotes with Wes, changing lives one quote at a time. First off, I hope all of you who celebrated Father's Day this past weekend had a great one. Whether it was your father, a father figure, or the memory of your father, they helped make you who you are today. So it makes sense to thank them. Most of the time. So speaking of dads, a recent video on YouTube mentioning a father has been shared like no other, and is the source of today's Motivate quote. Jim Carrey, world-renowned actor and comedian, and one of my childhood role models, shared in his commencement address to a 2014 graduating class that I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take the chance on doing what you love. Earlier in his speech, Jim Carrey speaks about how his father could have been a great comedian, but to support his family, his father chose to make what he saw as the safe decision, and ultimately become an accountant. Of course, there's nothing wrong with being an accountant. I mean, I'd hate to think where we'd be without them. Sir, here are your profit and loss statements. Who are you? Get out of here, you're fired. What do you mean we're bankrupt? Anyway, the real kicker was that Jim Carrey's father ended up losing that safe accountant job. Often, many of us fear about failing at what we love, but we never think about failing at what we don't love. Failure doesn't discriminate. So in that sense, you might as well struggle doing something that you're passionate about. Now, how does this relate to dads? Well, think about your father or your father figure for a moment. Did he give up following his passion to support you, either with more money or more time? If he did, then you should definitely thank him, because for one to sacrifice their own passions for someone else is worth at least a hug. And a big thank you for what you did. So I say to you, when you find yourself in a situation where you have the choice of doing what you love or something that you don't, remember the quote, "I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take the chance on doing what you love." And last but not least is today's quote question, which is, did your father give up his passion to support you or your family? And if so, what was it? Let me know in the comment section below. Hey quoters, thanks for watching today's Motivate Monday episode. I hope you guys are feeling motivated to go out and do something that you love if you aren't already. I know I am. Now, speaking of that cracky voice that I just had, which was embarrassing, but I might use this take anyway. Also, if you guys like this series, you want me to continue doing it, then I need your help. And there's two ways you can help me. The first way is by going up there and clicking on that subscribe button so you can see all my episodes and build a bigger audience, which means I'll be able to maintain doing this, as often as I am. So number one, subscribe. Secondly, and very importantly, please share this video and this channel with any of your friends, your family who love quotes. I mean, I know hardly anybody that wouldn't like quotes. Just saying. Just saying. All right, well, that will be great. Also, by the way, if you're new to my channel, you might want to check out this last video, which was last week's Tender Thursday episode, which has a little bit of kissing, has to do with a classic movie. Might want to check that out. Actually, you will want to check that out if you haven't seen it already. Also, this will take you to last week's Motivate Monday episode, which had a pilot talking about some pretty motivating words. Had some pretty motivating words, that is. Anyway, click there if you haven't seen last week's Motivate Monday. You need some more motivation, go right there. And last but not least is that like button down there. Just so you know, a like a day keeps the doctor away. That's the original saying. Yep, it's not an apple, it's a like. So if you can click on the like button, that would be totally sweet. And I guess I think that's just about it. So I will see you quoters tomorrow.